And if it weren't for this leftover caution tape and these deep tire tracks, on one side you have a house that's for the drilling, but take a couple steps in this direction and you have another home that's completely against the drilling. The heated rivalry game isn't set to take place until this Friday here at Ratliff Stadium. It's the tallest building in Midland, and I just scaled down 23 stories. We are experiencing cold temperatures and really wet roads. Take a look on these roads behind me. You can see traffic starting to pick up. Big Ben coffee roasters tell us they import their beans from about 9 different places all over the world. And getting each flavor just right is a skill that takes years to develop. We've been in contact with the lawyers who are representing several of the victims in this case. I'm suited up in this search suit. It's about an 80-pound bodysuit, and I'm carrying this x-ray machine. This is the second shooting to take place at this hotel parking lot within a 2-month time span. So let's kind of take one off and give it a try. Maybe not completely finished, but definitely pretty gooey on the inside. Teresa Washburn is a victim of an unthinkable crime.
Somebody put a red box on my doorstep, and I opened it right off the bat, and it exploded in my face.
It took 22 surgeries and about 12 years for Washburn to get back on her feet. But even to this day, she still feels the pain of what happened.
I still have pain all the time. My arm hurts all the time.
And then there's the emotional trauma, which all came flooding back to Washburn as she watched the explosions go off in Boston Monday afternoon.
I started crying last night. You see the people running, and they just fell.
Washburn tells us she's hopeful for all of the victims in Boston who will have the support of their loved ones and the financial backing from a special organization set up specifically for victims of crime.
We are trained and certified to assist victims with applying for crime victim compensation, which is a program from the Office of the Attorney General.
Crime Victim Services tells us the organization can help cover medical expenses, funeral arrangements, and even help the dependents of victims of violent crime.
They're innocent, and no one should have to pay for somebody else's evil.
And Washburn says it's that mentality that's helped carry her to recovery.
I'm a victim, but I'm not a victim now. I'm a survivor.
We had dreamed about doing this for a long time, but didn't think we could actually make it a reality until we moved to Marfa.
It's a trade like no other. And these two are putting their best feet forward to master the craft. Meet Logan and Colt, the founders and co-owners of Cobra Rock Boot Company, based in Marfa, Texas.
We just make one style of boot with one kind of leather. It just appeals to a really wide range of people.
The two cordwingers started the company back in 2011 and have since managed to create an international business.
We're getting orders from all over the world right now.
With little to no advertising.
We actually haven't had to do that much ourselves, which has been really amazing. It's been word of mouth.
So what makes these boots a must-have product? Well, for one thing, they're all handcrafted right here in the store.
If we focused on one pair, I think we could build it in about 5 or 6 days.
Which puts a $500 price tag on every pair and a 10-month wait until they're actually delivered and ready to wear.
I'm really surprised and feel very flattered that people are willing to wait so long.
Since Cobra Rock is still a relatively small business, Colt and Logan tell us that one of the essential elements to putting their product together is utilizing machines like this one. But getting your hands on one of these isn't as easy as you think, since some of them trace back to the 1920s.
If you just give them a little love, they seem to keep on going.
And while Marfa may not seem like the most likely place to root a business, Cobra Rock says they owe a lot of their success to the small town.
It's really a town full of surprises. There are a lot of people who come through town that are interested in art and interested in design and things that are handmade, so that really helps us.
The two tell us if business continues to boom, they hope to add more styles and maybe even take on more employees.
We definitely have some designs, but it's just in terms of making them fast enough.
So until that happens, you can bet your boots that Cobra Rock will keep hammering away to fill every single order.
Do you like all of your family members wear Cobra Rock boots?
They're on the wait list, actually.
Reporting for Good Morning West Texas, I'm Jenne Anderson.
That's right. There was definitely a sense of relief and even celebration here inside the Ector County Courthouse after the sentence came in that Victor White will spend the rest of his life in prison.
Breathe a sigh of relief. I'm glad that this chapter of it is finally over.
It's been a 2-year battle for Sergeant Stephen McNeil that's finally come to an end.
but not without lasting effects. The Ector County sergeant was shot in the head during the 22-hour-long standoff with Victor White.
Probably the worst pain I've ever experienced, and some of the side effects I have is the ringing in my head, which was the moment the bullet impacted. I've had that since. That's potentially going to be a lifelong condition.
And it's this lifelong condition that made McNeil and several other officers in the courtroom celebrate after 4 life sentences, 2 20-year sentences, as well as a $60,000 fine were given to the West Odessa man.
He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison, and that's exactly where he belongs. This jury made sure that he paid for his crimes, and he paid with the maximum sentence.
White had some choice words for Ector County deputies after the verdict, disputing things brought up during the trial, and he then had to be escorted out of the courtroom. But that's not surprising to Ector County Sheriff Mark Donaldson, who says White's always had a problem with law enforcement.
He just puts it on whoever the sheriff is that's the one that he's going to hold all the grudge against.
But this grudge won't be a problem for local police officers, including Sergeant McNeil, who came back on the job after being injured, because he says he just wants to continue to serve.
I believe in what we do. I mean, we make a difference, and most people out there are really good people, and I have comfort in that. And just a small percentage of the population are people that we ever have trouble with.
Now, the case wrapped up around 2 o'clock this afternoon, but after speaking with Sheriff Donaldson, he says he won't be completely satisfied until White is out of the county jail and booked in prison. For now, reporting from the Ector County Courthouse, Jenne Anderson, Big 2 News.